Hello everyone, welcome back to Auto Trend TV. I am your Viprajesh again from Suryabala Ford showroom in Coimbatore today. And I am here with the brand new Ford Figo petrol automatic top end titanium plus variant. I am going to judge how does this brand new petrol automatic Ford Figo respond in Coimbatore city traffic and on free stretches. So let's go on for a detailed test drive. Yes folks, I'm right now inside the brand new Ford Figo automatic titanium plus top end variant, and this car literally has all the features you may see on a Ford Figo, including automatic headlamps, automatic wipers, auto dimming IRBM, the touchscreen system, and it also has 6 airbags along with the traction control, which is a new addition on the automatic variants alone. So now today it is about the automatic transmission. So let's first start this engine to see whether if they have done any sort of refinement changes for this automatic variant specifically. So push button start. Turning off the AC. So the refinement levels are still exactly the same. This here is the very same 1.2 liter 3-cylinder Dragon series petrol engine producing 96 PS of maximum power. And on the manual transmission version, this was a pretty fun engine despite being a small capacity engine. I'm sure they have tuned this automatic gearbox according to this small capacity petrol, and it could be even more fun. So let's just start the drive right now. Shifting it into drive mode, this gearbox also has a sports mode along with the manual Tiptronic mode function. I'm not going to do that now. Currently I'm just putting it into drive mode. So the initial feel is that, yeah, this feels exactly like the manual car. The steering is effortless, and now that you don't have a clutch pedal at all, it is going to be even more fatigue free. The initial creep function is strong enough to make the car move without any effort, say around at low speeds such as 10 km per hour without any accelerator input from me. Starting to accelerate, ooh, wow, I didn't expect that. Okay, well, I never knew when the car actually shifted from second to third or the first to second. Okay, so let's just get on with it. Pressing on. I'm doing 60. Ooh, okay, nice. There is also a sporty engine note once you cross say 2500 RPM. And it also shifts effortlessly without any hassle at all. The braking, of course, is really good. This car also has ESP traction control with hill launch assist as standard, along with rollover mitigation and all those stuff. Yeah, once you put your foot down, yeah, it just takes that half second to downshift. But once it downshifts, it just goes. Wow, this is really nice. Okay, wow, I'm doing 80 without me even noticing. You barely notice the speed at all. Only if you look at the speedometer, you get to see what speed you are doing. And in traffic situations, you just have to dab the throttle. It takes that half second lag. Yes, that is that half second lag, which is also present on the Ford EcoSport Automatic. But once it downshifts, it is a totally different animal. Now let's just go to the racecourse part of the city and explore further of this engine and gearbox. So folks, I'm right now in the Nirmala College road free stretch over here, and I would like to see how does this automatic gearbox perform with high accelerator input and immediate acceleration. Let's just start it. So putting my pedal to the metal. So as you can see, this transmission works perfectly, and there is that sporty engine note as well, which really adds to the sporty feel of this car. So this was in normal drive mode. Now let's see how does the sports mode work. Basically, the concept of a sports mode is that it will extend the range of the every gear so that it does not upshift early. Now let's see how does that perform. So currently this here is the drive mode, the regular drive mode. Now I am putting it into sports mode. So that is S, And in the sports mode, you also have Tiptronic mode, which I will demonstrate that later. Now currently let's just see how does the sports mode perform. So putting my pedal to the metal again. So you can see that every gear lasts even longer. Bad traffic, man. So yeah, the sports mode really brings out whatever is present in this 1.2 liter petrol engine. The maximum acceleration is available, and this engine can put up to 5500 rpm pretty easily. Now let's talk about the Tiptronic mode. I'm still in sports mode. Well, before that, let me just put it into drive mode to actually see what is the difference between the sports mode and the regular drive mode. So currently I'm just driving regularly in the drive mode, and putting it into sports mode suddenly, yeah, the gearbox responds slightly better, and there is a significant difference in the acceleration timing. Now let's see how does the Tiptronic mode work. Let's go even further. So in this traffic situation, it is sort of better to use the Tiptronic mode for upshifting and downshifting. Currently the car is in sports mode, and I'm just upshifting. So this is S3. The S3 is shown in the instrument cluster over here. That means the car is in third gear. And upshifting again, so that is fourth. In case if you want to downshift, just press the minus, and now it's in third gear. So it is an easy affair, but still it is kind of awkward to use just buttons on the transmission lever over here. So instead they could have provided either paddle shifts or the actual lever which could be shifted up and down, but instead they have provided this. I don't know why, but still it is completely okay. Let's just take a U-turn and go through that again. And coming back to sports mode, so S2 now into S3 and S4. So even in this sports mode with the Tiptronic function, the transmission lever takes sort of 1 second to change gears. So as you can see, I'm now in fourth gear and downshifting. So yeah, it takes that half second to downshift, and in case if you want to upshift, it takes 1 second, a proper 1 second to upshift, but half second to downshift. That is how the sports mode Tiptronic function works. So driving in race course Coimbatore, well, this is where I get to experience the full potential and the convenience of this torque converter automatic. Well, in addition to the agility, the ride and handling balance of the Ford Figo, which the Figo is always famous for. This, as you can see, is a pothole-ridden, traffic-ridden road. And on such roads, especially with traffic, this is where the benefit of the gearbox is quite evident. You don't have a clutch pedal, so you don't have to worry about upshifting, downshifting properly, and the RPM of the engine. I wish this automatic was also available on the diesel Figo, which is even more powerful and will be even more fun to drive than this petrol. For now, we'll just have to deal with this 96 PS petrol because it is really good enough. Going on the way back to the showroom, let's just discuss about the mileage of this Ford Figo automatic. This may just be a 1.2 liter 3-cylinder petrol engine, which mainly aims to provide better economy, but this being mated to a 6-speed torque converter automatic. This is a proper automatic transmission, not an AMT. That means, well, that is some compromise on the mileage factor. This being the automatic top end variant, and given the way we have driven this car, I have reset the mileage meter before we started driving, and now currently you can see that this car is delivering around 11 to 12 km per liter in the city traffic. So this is the city mileage, and if you want to know about the highway mileage, this car is capable of doing up to 17 km per liter if driven rather sanely.
The second generation Ford Figo has always been a rather normal looking hatchback. And with this automatic transmission update, there has been no cosmetic changes on the exterior or the interior. This being the top spec Titanium Plus variant, you still don't get projector headlamps or LED DRLs. However, this car gets chrome detailing at the front along with front fog lamps. Ford India has also introduced these new dual-tone machine-cut alloy wheels on this top-spec variant. While the overall front end still looks sporty and the overall proportions of the car is spot on in terms of design, comparing with other modern hatchbacks, the Ford Figo definitely looks more plain and rather ordinary. That said, these new alloy wheels definitely look more sportier than before. The rear fascia of the Ford Figo also has been pretty ordinary, and there has been no changes over here as well. This being the top spec Titanium Plus variant, you also get to see rear windshield wiper washer and defogger along with the reverse parking camera. This variant also offers a rear fog lamp located on the right side tail lamp. However, as you can see, there is no differentiating badging to indicate whether this is a manual or the automatic variant. Let's now get inside the car and check out the features.
I'm right now inside the brand new Ford Figo Petrol Titanium Plus automatic variant, and you can see that the dashboard remains exactly the same as the regular Ford Figo. Now the Titanium variant does not get the touchscreen system, it does not get automatic climate control, and it also does not get automatic headlamps and automatic wipers, and neither does it get auto dimming IRVM. But this being the Titanium Plus top spec variant, you get push button start and all these features which I mentioned, including automatic climate control, and now it also offers this automatic transmission lever as well. The Titanium variant also gets this automatic transmission. This here is the 6-speed torque converter automatic transmission lever, and the lever itself is borrowed from the Ford EcoSport. That means you get a park mode, reverse, neutral, drive, and there is also a sports mode with Tiptronic modes for the transmission as well. The Tiptronic buttons may not be a wise idea. It is not actually that great to drive with the Tiptronic modes. It is better to leave it in sports mode itself. That said, along with this automatic transmission, you also get traction control with ESP, hill launch assist, and all those safety stuff available as standard on the Titanium and the Titanium Plus automatic variants alone. The manual versions of the Titanium and Titanium Plus still don't offer ESP with traction control and all those features. Apart from this, everything else remains exactly the same, including the instrument cluster, the button start, the dashboard, and door trim. And another difference on the interior of the Ford Figo Automatic are the seats. The seat design has changed by a small bit. There is a different kind of pattern on the seats, and they look mildly better than before, while providing the exact same comfort. The rear seats also have been provided with the very same design and pattern, and they are just as comfortable as before, while also providing standard adjustable headrests for 2 passengers on the Titanium and the Titanium Plus variants itself. Moving on towards the driver door, you get to see that the Ford Figo Titanium Plus top spec variant gets one touch up and down function for the driver window alone, along with electronically foldable option for the ORVMs as well. Let me just start the engine, and this is how everything looks like. This touchscreen system is exactly the same as before. That means this does not get Android Auto or Apple CarPlay or Sync 3 connectivity. However, it still provides inbuilt navigation, which is a pretty good feature to have. So this is how the navigation screen looks like. It is reasonably accurate. It is almost precise, but definitely not as slick or as great as Google Maps. However, it is still pretty useful, and the speaker quality, the audio quality is also pretty good despite having stock speakers. Talking about the reverse parking camera quality, let me just slot this car into reverse, and this is how the display looks like. It is one among the better reverse parking cameras in this compact hatchback category, and it also has a rather wide and large full screen view of the screen which is available, and it also has a separate display for your reverse parking sensor monitoring, so that is actually pretty nice to use and very convenient as well. That said, despite being an automatic transmission variant, you still don't get a dead pedal for your left foot, as I already said. The space is available though, but they could have provided a dead pedal, a sort of a higher platform for you to conveniently rest your left foot. Apart from that, the seating position, everything is perfect. The Titanium variant itself offers height adjustment for the driver's seat. And basically that's it. Now let's take a look at the back seats. I'm right now in the back seat of the Ford Figo Top End Titanium Plus automatic variant, and this is how the dashboard looks like. This transmission lever really uplifts the ambience of this rather generic and dated looking dashboard design. However, still the Ford Figo is one among the best value for money compact hatchbacks in the Indian market by providing almost all the features you need. Talking about the rear seats, yes, the rear seat space is exactly the same, and there are back seat pockets just behind the front seats for additional storage.
and you also get large bottle holders with cup holders on the front center console as well. Both the Titanium and Titanium Plus variants of the Ford Figo automatic range provide adjustable headrests for 2 passengers as standard, which is a really good thing. The seat design and pattern has also been changed, and it definitely looks and feels more premium than before with the white contrast stitch lines. That said, no variant of the Ford Figo still provides a center armrest for the rear seat passengers, and of course there is no center armrest even for the front passengers as well. That said, the rear doors don't have any sort of bottle holders or cup holders on the doors, unlike the front doors which get 2 bottle holders to compensate for this. Well, that's all about the rear seats of the Ford Figo automatic. Let's just quickly take a look at the boot. The Ford Figo, being a family-centric hatchback, offers a decent level of boot space at 257 liters of usable luggage space. Despite the high loading lip, the overall shape and height of the boot makes it really usable. Just like many other hatchbacks in this category, the top-spec variant also does not offer 60-40 split folding function for the rear seats, with the only facility of 100% full flat folding. Even after folding flat, there is a significant step, but still the overall space is much larger. Under the boot floor, you get to see a 14-inch space-saver spare wheel, which can be used up to 80 km/h speed limit for temporary usage only. In terms of other utility functions, the boot of the Ford Figo also offers a small yellow boot lamp along with bag hooks on either side, which can be used for your shopping bags. Despite being the entry-level model of the Ford lineup, the overall build quality is pretty solid. Now let's talk about the pricing and conclude this review. So that was a detailed drive review of the brand new Ford Figo automatic top-end Titanium Plus variant. I think that it is a really impressive combination of this petrol engine and the torque converter automatic transmission. The pricing is on the screen for you for the Titanium and the Titanium Plus variants of the Ford Figo automatic. Do let me know in the comment section below what do you think about the Ford Figo automatic range. Meanwhile, this is Viprajesh signing off. See you on another video. Thank you for watching.